$2,000 per month stimulus checks? Is this bill that's been proposed by two members of the House of Representatives really going to get you up to $24,000? In this video, I'm going to cover what the bill named the Emergency Money for the People Act is and how it could mean you would receive $2,000 a month for up to 12 months. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Justin and welcome to my channel. On this channel, I talk about personal finance, current financial news, and other things to help you build your net worth and become financially independent. If you haven't already clicked the subscribe button, click the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know anytime I release a new video. I'm going to be going over all of the stimulus check updates. There are new stimulus bills coming out all the time. If you want to stay up to date on what the latest is, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell. So many of you have already received your $1,200 stimulus check that were part of the CARES Act that was signed into law a couple weeks ago. So far, the IRS has paid out nearly $158 billion in 88 million stimulus checks, but many still haven't received their check. And even if they did, $1,200 doesn't go very far if you've lost your job or have other financial difficulties. The stimulus check was a one-time event, and while $1,200 doesn't hurt, it probably doesn't cover that many expenses for most people. And if you lose your job, you have ongoing expenses every single month. For one, rents have been rising every year, and according to rentcafe.com, the average rent in America is nearly $1,500 per month. So the one-time stimulus check of $1,200 isn't even going to cover a month's rent for the average American, let alone if they have credit card bills, a car loan, or any other expenses that they may need to cover. So two members of the House of Representatives came up with a new bill which they proposed last week. It's called the Emergency Money for the People Act. And in short, this bill would give every person in America over the age of 16 $2,000 per month for 6 months. If after 6 months unemployment levels hadn't returned to pre-crisis levels, then they would extend the bill for another 6 months for a total of 12 months. So for an individual, $2,000 per month over 12 months, this bill would pay an individual up to $24,000 if it were to pass as it stands. But let me be clear, at this point it's only a bill. It is not passed, it has not been voted on, it is only a proposed bill at this point. Now their reasoning for this bill was that the $1,200 didn't go far enough. And one of the other problems is that a lot of people have been having trouble getting their stimulus money. Whether that was check or direct deposit, a lot of people still haven't received it. One of the other biggest issues is the latest unemployment numbers show over 26 million people have lost their jobs recently. If you just lost your job, $1,200 isn't going to go very far. And for 26 million people, $1,200 is not going to help them out that much. According to a recent survey, nearly 70% of Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings account. These massive unemployment numbers and the lack of savings in America led these two representatives to propose this bill that would give more money to more Americans and help those that are struggling during this difficult time. So what are the details of this bill, the Emergency Money for the People Act? And how does it differ from the original bill that gave us the stimulus checks, the CARES Act? The first thing is this bill would provide $2,000 per month for 6 months, not just a one-time payment of $1,200. The requirements to qualify are also different than the original round of stimulus checks, and they are simply that you must be 16 years of age or older and make less than $130,000 per year. Couples that file jointly would receive $4,000 per month as long as they make less than $260,000 per year. So this bill basically includes anyone over 16, even if they are claimed as a dependent and they are under the income limit. Additionally, these payments would not count as taxable income, so you wouldn't pay any taxes on it. And also, because it's not taxable income, it would not prevent any person from receiving government benefits by pushing them over an income limit. Benefits are reduced by $50 for every $1,000 over the $130,000 threshold. So if you make over $170,000 per year as an individual, or $340,000 per year as a couple, you would not receive any money. For those with children, they would receive $500 each month for each child they claim on their taxes, and this credit would be given up to 3 children. So it could be a total of $1,500 per month. If you want to read the entire bill, I have a link in the description below. If you are unemployed or not working at all, you would still receive the benefits. If you made more than the max in 2018 and 2019 and you weren't eligible for the first round of stimulus checks, but you have since lost your job or you now make less than the $130,000 threshold, you would now be eligible for this round of stimulus money if this bill passes. You would need to provide 2 months of paycheck to show that you are now making less than the $130,000 threshold. Another major difference with this bill and the CARES Act is that this bill includes college students, many of whom were not eligible under the CARES Act because they were claimed as dependents by their parents. It also includes adults on disability if they are claimed as a dependent on someone else's taxes. The disabled individual would receive $2,000 and the parent or guardian of that individual that was claimed would receive $500. And this is every single month. This also extends to non-residents of the US if they meet certain requirements. To solve some of the problems there have been with getting the money to people, this proposal would allow payments to be made via direct deposit, checks, but also mobile payment apps such as Zelle, Venmo, or even PayPal, as well as probably others. Initially, the payments would be handed out by the government for at least 6 months. If the unemployment numbers fall below pre-pandemic levels, then the payments would stop after those 6 months. If the unemployments were still higher than pre-pandemic levels, then the payments would continue for an additional 6 months. The payout on this bill could be up to a full year of monthly payments. Under this plan, a married couple with 3 kids making $260,000 per year or less would receive $5,500 each month for up to a year. So that same couple would receive $66,000 in benefits over a course of a year under this plan. So that's the bill. What do you think of it? Well, first off, here are some issues that I see. Number one is the cost. This program would cost $448 billion per month, or $2.6 trillion just for the first 6 months. The other issue that I have with it is those that haven't been affected by the shutdowns, still have their jobs, would still be getting money, but it's money that they potentially wouldn't even need. The next issue is this bill has not moved since it was first proposed. Congress has been doing other work on other stimulus bills, and in fact, the Senate just passed a $480 billion package to help small businesses, hospitals, as well as to expand testing. That approved stimulus package did not include anything for individuals receiving checks, but it did help small businesses and hospitals and for additional testing. As I was saying earlier, with this new bill that has been proposed, it's only a proposed bill. It still has to stand up to the scrutiny in the House and the Senate, and then would need to be signed into law by the president. And at this point, it's not looking very likely that it will pass as it stands. While I don't think that this new proposed bill will pass as it stands, there are other ways to receive assistance right now that have already passed and are available. Here are some of the most important ones that are available right now. The first one is expanded unemployment insurance benefits. This was part of the CARES Act. All states have adopted this program, and if you've lost your job and receive unemployment benefits, you can receive an additional $600 per week. And that's on top of what you're already receiving for your state. Self-employed individuals, even if you do like Uber or Lyft or something like that, are also eligible for this. And there's an additional 13 weeks on top of the state's unemployment insurance benefits. So add an additional 13 weeks onto what your state will do. Another program that's available is the mortgage forbearance program. Your lender could allow you to stop or reduce your payments for a certain period of time if you're experiencing economic difficulty or financial problem. You should be careful with this one. This isn't forgiving the amount you owe, but it's just deferring it or putting it back into a later date. Those payments will still be tacked on to the end of the loan or will be due at some point in the future. But if you have a financial crisis right now and you lost your job or something else, this is still an option. Make sure you reach out to your mortgage lender for the options that they have available to you to see if you can do a mortgage forbearance or some other option to help you with payments on your mortgage. The last thing is, if you still haven't received a stimulus check, first find out if you're eligible to receive it. I'm not going to go over all the details of the CARES Act, but I have a link in the description below to help you determine eligibility. If you are eligible and still haven't received it, there are some steps you can take. If you weren't required to file taxes by the IRS created a tool that you can go to and fill out your information so that they know where to send your check and get you a stimulus check even if you didn't file taxes. I have a link for that tool in the description below. Don't use that tool if you actually filed taxes. If you did file your taxes and haven't received a stimulus check and are eligible, use the Get My Payment tool in the description below. That tool will allow you to check the status of your payment, to see where it is, and to see when you should be receiving it. You may just need to be patient. They are processing millions and millions of these right now, and it's going to take some time to process all of them. Be sure to check out that tool to see the status of your money. But back to the proposed $2,000 a month stimulus bill. Do you want this bill to pass into law? In the comments below, if you do, write yes. If you don't want this stimulus bill to pass into law, the $2,000 per month bill, write no in the comments below. I do think that there will be more stimulus bills to come. As there are new bills and new information, I will be sure to share those here on my channel. So make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you will receive a notification anytime I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to smash the like button. I really appreciate all the time you spent watching this video. See you next time, but I'm out of here.